My name's Oliver Ledgard, and I work for a company called Zebra Technology.
Explain a little bit more about Zebra. What do you do?
So Zebra, you'd actually, we're everywhere, but you don't might necessarily see us. So we're huge in like retail, T&L, manufacturing. But within the government space, we really focus on the three different pillars. That first pillar is our critical communications. So we're heavily investing in the narrowband to broadband. So you'll be recognised where police officers in the Frontline utilise like their radio. And now there's actually the technology with broadband and the coverage where we can actually see some services from that narrowband radio transitioning to broadband. So critical comms is that first pillar. Our second pillar is asset visibility. And that's really driving operational efficiencies in terms of cost and time. So if you imagine a fire appliance getting ready for shift, and that could take anything between 4 to 5 minutes to get ready, now utilising RFID, which is effectively a mobile scanner, and can scan the fire appliance within 30 seconds, it will tell you if anything fundamental is missing from that fire appliance to go to shift.
Yeah, and that's in terms of things like kit, kit, just a general kit.
Whether it be breathing apparatus, whether it be elements to tooling to free someone from a car, from consumables, hosing, everything like that. And then if you look at that asset visibility at the end of a shift, so as part of their routine, it takes two of them to go through a 25-minute check, right? And that's a manual process.
And that's the old thing with a clipboard and
Exactly.
ticking away. Yeah.
And now we can do that in 30 seconds. So all you're doing is giving time back. And I think there's a stat where 25 to 35 million pounds of assets are misplaced or lost a year across all the fire services. And I think it's about £600,000 is each fire service pays just for checking. So we're just trying to drive that operation. And we do it in retail. And we said, well, actually, we've been doing this over the last 7 to 8 years in the government space. So I've talked about critical comms and asset visibility. And our third one is like mobile digitalisation. It's a real buzzword, right? Yeah, so
it's all those fabulous words,
Yeah, and that's really around, we've got our whole mobile computing, whether that would be a handheld device to a consumer style device, but also to our Android and Windows tablets.
So will that be sort of like communicating at the scene of, say, a scene of an accident, scene of a fire, whatever?
Exactly. So command and control, you can have it. One guy could be looking at his whole staff, understanding where his resources are, and then moving them around, utilising a larger tablet style. And then you go on to e-citation. So when you're rushing to get here and you're going 71 miles an hour, we can then pull you over on a mobile computing device, summon you a ticket, and then print it out one of our mobile printers as well. And then all this is like threaded in with all the supplies as well. So RFID tags. So every uniform, our aspiration is to have every fire uniform to be tagged with RFID, so they understand how long it's been circulation for, how often it's been washed at site, gone through cycles. So we're ensuring that fire officers' safety is paramount every time they go out on shift.
And do they work? Can they work across? So across the different sort of disciplines. So say if I was an ambulance driver, for example, would that communication then work to the fire service, to the police? Do they work together? Can they all work?
That's exactly what this whole broadband migration looks like. So we're seeing a lot within the EU. Okay, so where you come to close border control, not so much of our beautiful island, but close border control, you can have different countries working together across that same network. So it's sharing that situational awareness, sharing best practice, ensuring public safety.
And today, so empowering the frontline, that's the subject you're speaking today.
Yeah.
What sort of things are people going to hear when they listen to this?
A bit what I've just talked about there around that asset visibility, and it's really getting them. So as we know, not everyone is got huge amounts of budget, okay? But with asset visibility, it's something that's slowly bleeding cost and time out of these frontline services. But actually, if you invest up front, you can get that return on investment really quickly. What I've just said previously, like 25 to 35 million pounds worth of lost assets. if you could just reduce that, I mean, you can pay that back within 6 months of deploying an RFID solution. And we work with numerous software partners. So we produce all the hardware, the supplies, mobile computing, and then that software platform brings it to life. And so whether it be for evidence management, so bagging and tagging evidence at a scene, okay, and then it's got that visibility of that evidence throughout the chain. And if it's moved for whatever reason, it's not supposed to be moved, there's a flags given to it. Whether it be pre-shift, during shift on an ambulance, okay, saving those vital minutes when they should be out there doing their job they're paid to do, not effectively that admin burden of making sure they've got everything they need to kick off their shift.
Now, this is going to sound a pretty daft question.
I love daft questions.
But why is it important for you to be here at BAPCO? Having, I suppose, that face-to-face contact with people.
I mean, I think to get everyone under the same roof in the beautiful Coventry Arena is amazing. I mean, what's the time now? 11:15, and I've met 8 people already that I needed to meet. So whether that be from end users, so I've met the Norwegian police who we're kicking off some stuff with at the moment, but also met with our partners in terms of Sonic Communications who do the mission critical accessories with Gamber and Johnson. So you just meet people who help your ecosystem, people who sell your solutions, but also meet the partners that you're trying to add value to.
And I think one of the things, I mean, you know, I watched programs like Ambulance.
Yeah.
And it is
Addictive, isn't it?
Oh, it's completely addictive. But it's understanding that, you know, at the end of the day, what we're talking about is human beings, and it's about human contact. How do you feel what you do it improves or adds value to that contact?
So let's say for ambulance, okay, so where they have got a huge amount of pressure, whether it be dealing with the people they have to go see an incident, if we can take some of that admin burden away, so they get time back at their station to just decompress, okay, or actually be more front-facing with their patient and not having to worry about other aspects, we've just taken away certain constraints that would have to be a manual process. I think then they can give the best quality of care they can, and also allows them freer time. So we're seeing that a lot within the police. So they're having to go back and do reporting after a shift. But I mean, some of the guys see some really horrific things sometimes. If they can actually just go, instead of doing 2 hours reporting, just decompress and say, right, this has happened, and deal with it, rather than if it's maybe bottling it up or take it into when they go home and not having that time just to settle themselves down. So I think all it is driving that operational efficiency, and that then gives that time back to that police officer, ambulance service or fire, and just giving them time back to do the job they're employed to do, or actually decompress and just...
And finally, what is it about BAPCO? What is it that makes this event work?
I mean, I was talking to someone earlier, I think this is my 20th year, which is terrifying.
So you've seen some changes, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
But I think it's, it's hugely focused on the UK, but I met, as I said before, some Nordic customers already. But it's just a real good meeting place, and I'm looking forward to the ESN update tomorrow, and just, yeah, it's a good sharing of knowledge, meeting for contacts and networking. It's a great place to be.
Brilliant. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you very much.